Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by the beauty of nature, there lived a wise and just king named Roderick. His reign was marked by wisdom and fairness, and he was beloved by his subjects. But even in this peaceful realm, there was a lesson to be learned, one that would reveal the true nature of truth and forgiveness. In King Roderick's opulent palace, there was a prized possession that held a special place in his heart, a beautiful vase adorned with intricate patterns and colors. It was a treasure that brought him joy, a testament to the artistry of his kingdom. One fateful day, while the palace servants were diligently cleaning, an unfortunate mishap occurred. The prized vase slipped from the trembling hands of a servant named Ilara and shattered into countless pieces. Fear gripped Ilara's heart as she realized the gravity of her mistake. Ilara, trembling with anxiety, gathered every shard of the vase and, under the weight of guilt, decided to keep the truth hidden. She secretly disposed of the fragments, hoping to erase the evidence of her mistake. But little did she know that her actions would set in motion a series of events that would test the boundaries of truth and forgiveness. When King Roderick entered his bedroom later that day, the absence of his beloved vase did not go unnoticed. His heart sank as he realized that his cherished possession was missing. With a deep sense of sadness, he summoned Ilara to his presence and inquired about the vase. Fearful and unsure of how to proceed, Ilara hesitated but eventually decided to lie. She told the king that she had taken the vase to her home to clean it properly, fearing his reaction if he learned the truth. Ilara, torn between the guilt of her lie and the fear of facing the king's anger, could not find peace in her deception. The weight of her untruth gnawed at her conscience, and she knew that she had to make amends. That night, with a heavy heart, she revealed the truth to King Roderick. The king's initial disappointment turned to anger, and he was deeply hurt by Ilara's deception. In his anger, he sentenced her to death for her betrayal. Ilara, trembling with fear and regret, pleaded for forgiveness with folded hands. The next day, the king made the matter a point of discussion in his royal court, seeking the advice of his trusted courtiers. He asked if any among them had never told a lie, expecting that someone would come forward and plant the golden seeds of truth that could grow into a forest of forgiveness. However, the courtiers, fearing their own indiscretions, refused to step forward. They all confessed that they had, at some point in their lives, spoken untruths. The king, disheartened by the lack of honesty in his court, realized that he, too, had lied in his youth. Yet, among the courtiers, one man, the king's vice minister, remained silent. When King Roderick asked him if he had ever lied, the vice minister hesitated for a moment before admitting that he, too, had spoken untruths. His admission, though true, angered the king. The vice minister, deeply concerned about Ilara's impending death sentence, embarked on a journey to find a way to save her life. He sought the expertise of a skilled goldsmith and presented him with a unique request: to create a golden rice patty glistening with the promise of abundance and prosperity. The goldsmith, intrigued by the request, fashioned a magnificent golden rice patty, beautifully detailed and shimmering with precious metal. The vice minister took possession of the golden creation, knowing that it held the potential to reveal the truth and inspire forgiveness. With the golden rice patty in his possession, the vice minister returned to the royal court, determined to set things right. The king, though initially angered by his presence, agreed to listen to his explanation. The vice minister presented the golden rice patty to King Roderick, claiming that it had been given to him by a wandering monk who believed it could bring forth a miraculous crop of gold. The king, intrigued and perhaps seeking a way to right the wrongs of his court, agreed to the plan. He ordered all his courtiers, including the expelled vice minister, to plant the golden rice patty in a fertile field the next day. When the day arrived, the royal court assembled at the chosen field, ready to plant the golden rice patty. However, the vice minister revealed a critical detail. He had been instructed by the monk that only a person who had never told a lie in their life could plant the precious seed. A hushed silence descended upon the court as the truth sank in. None among the courtiers, including the king himself, could claim to be completely truthful throughout their lives. Their silence was a resounding confirmation of their own fallibility. The vice minister, with a knowing smile, took the golden rice paddy and declared that he, too, was not exempt from this human trait. He admitted that he had spoken untruths on occasion, just like everyone else. His admission, while honest, angered the king, and he expelled the vice minister from the court once more. But the vice minister had achieved his goal. His actions had planted the seeds of truth and forgiveness in the hearts of those who witnessed the events. The king, deep in thought and realizing the importance of honesty and forgiveness, summoned Ilara back to his court. He spared her life, recognizing that her confession had been an act of courage and remorse. The king also reinstated the vice minister, acknowledging that his actions had revealed the truth and taught a valuable lesson about the complexities of human nature. In the end, the kingdom of King Roderick embraced the ideals of truth and forgiveness. They understood that, as humans, they were all susceptible to imperfections and the occasional need for forgiveness. They recognized that a lie could be a crime when it caused harm, but it could also be an act of kindness when it served a noble purpose. The story reminds us that the morality of our actions depends on our intentions, and that forgiveness is a powerful gesture that can heal wounds and mend relationships. It teaches us that, just as no one is without flaws, no one should be beyond the reach of compassion and understanding. In a world where truth and forgiveness can illuminate even the darkest of corners, the kingdom of King Roderick stood as a beacon of hope and wisdom for all to behold.